Okay, today we're looking at dividing 2 and 3-digit dividends by 2-digit divisors with a single-digit quotient using partial quotients. So our first step, as always, is going to be to estimate. I'm going to look at my divisor first. I see 47, and I'm going to round that off to 50. I then need to find a compatible dividend. 50 times 5 is 25, so I'm going to go with 250 as my estimate. 250 divided by 50 equals 5. So I'm going to be looking for a quotient somewhere around 5. Let's go ahead and set up our equation. 256 divided by 47. We determined that 5 was an option, so we're going to go ahead, begin our partial quotients process. 47 times 5. Now with that I get 40 times 5 is 200. 7 times 5 is 35, so 47 times 5 is 235. I will then subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1, 5 minus 3 is 2, 2 minus 2 is 0. So I am left with a quotient of 5 and a remainder of 21. And since 21 is less than my divisor 47, my problem is complete. The only thing left is to check by multiplying. I'm going to do 47 times 5, and as we said, 35 and 23. Then going to add in my remainder of 21, and I get 6, 5, 2, and that matches my original dividend. Okay, in our next example, again, we're going to go ahead and round off our dividend. Our first step is going to be to estimate. And 5 multiples of 5, it's going to give us 350. So let's go ahead and start with 350 divided by 50, and that's going to equal 7. So I'm going to look for a quotient somewhere around 7. We'll then set up our problem, 369 divided by 46, and we said we're going to go with 7. So let's do 46 times 7. Now again, 7 times 40 is 280. 7 times 6 is 42. 280 plus 42 equals 322. We'll then subtract from there. 9 minus 2 equals 7. 6 minus 2 equals 4. And as we can see, we end up with a remainder that is equal to or larger than our dividend. So we're going to have to divide one more time. In this case, it'll be 46 times 1, which equals 46. And when we subtract, that leaves us with 1. So I have 7 plus 1 equals 8, with a remainder of 1 for my dividend. We're then going to go ahead and check by multiplying. We're going to have 46 times 8. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 4 is 32 plus 4 is 36, plus our remainder 369, and our check by multiplying and our dividend match it. In this example, we're going to demonstrate what happens if we end up with an estimate that is too large. So we're going to round off our divisor to 90, and 72, 9 times 8 is 72, so we're going to go with 720 here this time, and that's going to equal 8. So that's where we're going to start our division problem. We have 712 divided by 94, and in this tense, like I said, we're going to go with 8. So I have 94 times 8. 8 times 9 is 720. 8 times 4 is 32, and that's going to give me 752. So right away I can look at that and say it's not going to work because I can't divide more than what I'm starting with. So 8 is not going to work, and so now we're going to have to adjust and go with 7. So we're going to cross out our 8, go back to 7, and now let's try again. 7 times 90 is 630, and 7 times 4 is 28. 630 plus 28 is going to give me 600 658. When I subtract, 12 minus 8 is 4. 10 minus 5 is 5. I end up with a remainder of 54, which is less than my divisor of 94, giving me a final answer of 7, remainder 54. And check by multiplying will confirm my answer. Okay, now let's look at a word problem. Assume that Mrs. Gomez's car travels 31 miles on each gallon of gas. If she travels to visit her niece who lives 133 miles away, how many gallons of gas will Mrs. Gomez need to make the round trip? So let's go ahead and start by figuring out first that in order for her to travel from place to place, she's got to go there and then she's got to get back. So that's 133 miles in each direction. So 133 times 2 equals 266 total miles. So we know we have an equation of 266 divided by 31. Let's go ahead and estimate. We have 30, and pretty close to 30 is, again, we're probably going to want to round down. We're going to go with 240 divided by 30, which equals 8. So let's go ahead and get started with our equation. 240 divided by 31. We have 31 times 8. 30 times 8 is 240. 1 times 8 is 8, giving us a total of, excuse me, this was 266. I apologize for that. A little messy. Giving me a total of 248. And when I subtract that, 5, 16 minus 8 is 8, 5 minus 4 is 1, leaving me a remainder of 18. So we have a final answer of 8, remainder of 18. So we know we need 8 gallons of gas, but we still have 18 more miles to travel after that, which means we're going to have 8 plus 1 equals 9, or 9 gallons of gas. So Mrs. Gomez will need 9 gallons of gas. And of course, we're going to want to check by multiplying on that answer.